Be careful of the stories you tell, because the stories you tell are the ones that are going to come true. Hey, it's Heather Chauvin, wife, mother of 3 boys, former social worker, breadwinner, recovering hustler, and stage 4 cancer survivor. I'm not a fan of that term, by the way. Beyond all of these titles and labels, I'm a human being, just like you, attempting to navigate it all while feeling good. My goal on this podcast is to show you that you can live an energized, sustainable life, both at home and in your work. It doesn't matter if you stay at home full-time, if you work from home, you're a CEO, a successful business owner, or trying to find some inspiration. On this show, I attempt to keep it real with stories, interviews, and random thoughts. This is not a business or career podcast, and it's not a parenting podcast. It's both and so much more. You will laugh. You may even cry, and you may even get a little frustrated with the truth you've been hiding from yourself. I believe all human behavior is a language, whether it's through your child's behavior, your health, or a relationship. And when we learn to listen instead of react, we begin to understand what it truly means to feel alive and in control. It's time to put your big girl pants on and find your brave. Let's go. Okay, I am back. So day 2 of the energetic money management. So this is a little mini challenge that I have decided to do on the podcast, but also via text messaging. So there's a number that you can call. Nope, I lied. You cannot call the number. You can text the number. And when you text the number, when you text the word money, M-O-N-E-Y, when you text the word money, you register, you will be entered into this energetic money management challenge that I have going on this week from Monday through Friday. So this is my first time doing this via text message. I decided to do accompanied podcasts because I had more information to say and I wasn't going to dump it all in a text message. But what happens when you text me is I can share some visuals with you. So often I have accompanied, and today I'm going to be sharing kind of my belief cycle visual with you. It's a picture. So when you text me Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you're going to get a text, and it is going to be about today's podcast, the one that you're listening to now. Obviously, if you're listening to this after Tuesday, you're not going to receive that information. And you're welcome to text the number anyways. So if you want to join via text message so you can get additional information, you also have access to me. You can hit reply to those text messages, engage in conversation with me. I'm a real human being. I know it is so cool. But it's the truth. It's the truth. You can really text me. You just have to ask and we can make shit happen. So if you want to join the Energetic Money Management Challenge via text message, text the number 313-710-5199. So you're going to text the word money, M-O-N-E-Y, to this number, 313-710-5199. If you do not text the word money and you text me hello or something else, you will not be tagged properly, and therefore you will not get the money challenge, things. But again, if you say, hey, I didn't get it, we'll get it to you. All right. Phone number 313-710-5199. Text money and we will get started. So energetic money management day 1. Actually, we're on day 2. But day 1 was all about your emotional state. We talked about the emotional guidance scale. And today we're talking about stories. Why are we talking about stories? Why would I talk about money and stories? What does that even mean? So when you think about it, yesterday we're talking about the emotional guidance scale, right? If you got the text message from me, you receive the actual visual of what the emotional guidance scale looks like. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go and Google it. Google emotional guidance scale. It's just a visual of your emotions from 1 to 22. So the higher you are, meaning like the closer you are to 1, the feeling of joy, all of that awesomeness, or all the way at the bottom, which is fear, guilt, shame, yuckiness, right? So we are conditioned to believe, right, living in fear, if you do not know how to mentally master your mindset and raise your emotional vibration, you're going to be living in a state of fear when it comes to your financial health. This is what I'm talking about this week. I'm talking about money. But if you take the word of money out and you insert parenting or you insert career or you insert health, you're going to see mostly that how you show up in one area of your life is probably how you show up in many areas of your life because it is all connected. So today we're talking about stories. So for those of you who are involved in the money challenge and you received the visual of how to reverse engineer the life, the reality that you want, you know what I'm talking about. So for those of you who don't, I want you to visualize a clock, okay? We know what a clock is. It's a circle. And we have 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. So at the top, at the 12 o'clock hour, I want you to visualize the word belief, okay? There's belief. And then at the 3 o'clock hour, I want you to visualize the word thoughts or stories, okay? So belief, 12 o'clock, thoughts, stories, 3 o'clock. At the bottom of the clock, at the 6 o'clock, I want you to visualize the word action or inaction. And then at the 9 o'clock hour, reality. So we have belief, thought, action, and reality. First, stories, right? The stories that we tell ourselves. I don't want you to think about you for a minute. I want you to think about everybody else in your life. Think about somebody else in your life that you know who talks about money in a very, I'm going to say negative way, but it's not very negative. It's just not very exciting. So somebody who's always like, I can't do this. I won't do this. I don't have enough. And I want you to think about somebody, whether they don't have a lot or they do have a lot, but they're still telling themselves the same story. Think about their financial reality. So there's many people in my life that I know that always like, oh, never enough. I couldn't afford that. There's no way, right? Very fear-based thinking. And these stories that they tell themselves cause action or inaction, right? And then they don't take certain action. And then they manifest a reality that is not in alignment with what they want. So you'll see this with people spending, just swiping their credit card, but not actually knowing, one, where this money is coming from, right? Because it's like swipe and cross your fingers. So I used to be like this. And my reality was I was in severe debt. And this was coming from my teen years. I got a credit card when I was 17. My birthday's in March, and I remember going on a trip in Mexico in high school, and somebody in the room needed a credit card. And because I was the oldest one, I had to get the credit card. And I remember the first time I got my credit card, and I knew, okay, Heather, you need to have cash for this credit card. But it was so deceiving because I could swipe that credit card and get that instant hit of like that thing that I wanted to buy ahead of time. But then you have to pay it off, right? So we haven't been taught. We've just been conditioned. Put it on the card, pay it off later. Put it on the card, pay it off later. But what if you had the cash and then you paid off the credit card immediately? So this is reverse engineering how you want to feel. That is from a debt mindset. Now, what if your reality is you have a lot, you're very comfortable, but you want to get to the next financial milestone in your life? Maybe you want to start investing, right? Maybe you want to buy another property. Maybe you want to grow your money that you have. Understand that every new level is I'm not going to say new devil, but every new level of financial literacy allows you to recreate the exact same model. So understand this isn't just about people who are in financial debt. This is you on any level having the mindset that you need to have in order to feel the financial freedom that you crave. Let me say that again. In order for you to feel the financial freedom that you crave. Why do I say that? Because I have worked with many different types of people. Some have lots of money in the bank and some have no money in the bank. And what I've noticed is, not everybody comes to me with a lack mindset. That's definitely not, necessarily the case, because I think a lot of us lack mindset we are either open to possibility or closed, right? So you are a fixed mindset where you're like, nope, never going to happen. Or you come from a growth mindset. If you come from a growth mindset, you just need to practice the daily habits of resetting your mind and making sure it's in alignment with how you want to feel. So some people come, they have lots of money, but they still have this lack mindset of I can't, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose it all, right? So when you're living in a state of fight or flight, you might still have a whole bunch of money in the bank, but the reality is you feel like you're broke because you're so restrictive emotionally around your money. So head back to yesterday's podcast where I talk about the emotional guidance scale. Okay. So back to the circle and the reality. What is your current reality when it comes to money? What is it? How do you feel around it, right? So draw the circle, 12 o'clock belief, 3 o'clock stories, 6 o'clock action or inaction, 9 o'clock reality. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at the 9 o'clock hour on the circle, right? This is the circle that you drew. The reality that you currently have, okay? Current reality. And I want you to just write it out. So you might put in debt, or you might put doing really good, but kind of like itching for more, right? Or you could, whatever your current reality is just around money, because that's what this challenge is focused on. Now we're going to reverse engineer. How did you get here? How did you get here? It might be a really good story and it might be like a shit story. It's okay. So now we're going to back up to the 6 o'clock hour. That's where the action and inaction happens. So 6 o'clock hour, what actions have you taken to create your current reality? So let me give you an example. Let's say your current reality is you are $60,000 in consumer debt, okay? When I say $60,000 in consumer debt, I'm not talking about $60,000 I'm talking about like going to the mall and just consuming things that you did not need to live. So not talking about mortgage, not talking about car payments, not talking about all that stuff, just consumer crap. Extra shit that you didn't need. And a car payment is debatable. Anyways, not going to go there. So what actions did you have to take in order to rack up all of that debt? Okay, it could be student loans. It could be anything. Again, we're not emotionally attached here, but you're going to feel emotionally attached. You're going to want to vomit and shit your pants. You're going to say, oh my gosh, I feel so horrible. You are not your debt. Your worth is not your debt, okay? It's a byproduct. It's okay. Today you're making new choices. Who cares? I've made horrible choices financially in the past, and I probably wouldn't be where I am today without them, because they were the beautiful lessons, and I'm so grateful for them, and I would never take them back. So, what actions have you taken? Did you swipe the credit card one too many times? Did you avoid looking at your bank accounts? Did you wait until the last minute? So what actions or inaction did you need to take to manifest your current reality? Now you're going to back up one more time, and we're going to go to the 3 o'clock hour. And you might have to stop and pause this podcast and, get your journal out and to do the work. And that's okay. And you might have to listen to it over and over and over again. So now we're at the 3 o'clock hour. At the 3 o'clock hour, what are the stories that you are telling yourself about money? Remember, yesterday, pay attention to the emotional guidance scale. If the stories are really low on the emotional scale, fear, stress-based, overwhelm, your actions and your reality are probably not going to be where you want them to be, right? So if your stories are money's hard, I can't make any money, I'll never make enough money, I'm always in debt, I'm just barely surviving. Now we're going to back up even more to the belief. This could be a belief that you have about yourself. This could be a belief that you have about money. So beliefs and stories sometimes are linked. What I mean by that is sometimes they can be very similar. So I'm going to give you an example. I hear this all the time. Money's hard. I can't keep it. So if you believe it's hard to make money, if you believe that at your core, you're going to tell yourself, like, I don't have time to make money, because you believe that it's hard, right? You're going to get rid of money because you believe that it's hard. You are actually going to manifest difficult ways to make money because your brain is searching for the hard, stressful way to make money. Your brain is actually seeking what you are telling yourself. So if you believe money is hard to make, hard to keep, stressful, overwhelming, your stories are going to manifest around that. And then your actions or your inactions are going to be in alignment with that. You will avoid making money. You will avoid looking at your money. You will avoid educating yourself about money. And then your reality is you're not going to have any confidence. And as time goes on and this cycle continues and continues, you're just going to go further and further and further in the hole. So this is where you enter your brave zone. All right, we got to enter our brave zone. We got to get uncomfortable. We have to cry. We have to vomit. We have to shit our pants and say, enough is enough. When you get done with your own bullshit, you will choose something differently. You have to channel your anger. You have to channel your frustration. You have to look yourself in the mirror and you have to say your name and say, I deserve better. I deserve better and I deserve more. Now, let's say your desired reality is to be wildly abundant, okay? So you might be on the other end of the spectrum around this. You might make a lot. You might have a lot. And you might feel guilty for the money that you have. But yet you have a desire to make more. But maybe making more money, you have to attach yourself to impact. You have to attach yourself to the more I make, the more I can give. The more I make, the more I can invest in my health. The more I make, the more I can invest in my children's health. The more I make, the more I can give back to my parents. The more I make, I can start that foundation. I can do that thing. I can do whatever. You have to be attached to your bigger why. But I've seen this again and again. People get outside of their loop. They get outside of their mental loop of, okay, I'm out of debt. I've made the money. I'm good. And then I'm like, okay, you're good. But are you really good? And then I check back in 3 months and 6 months and they go, Heather, there's just this something inside of me. There's this ache, this desire for more, and it won't go away. And I'm like, what is it? You have to listen to that. Because if you don't listen to that, it's never going to go away. You are worthy of more. And this is also something that I have personally had to work through. Because when you step outside of your old limiting beliefs, your identity is changing. So I've gone from a broke-ass teenage single mother who literally was on welfare, gaining freaking food stamps, okay? Like government assistance to feed myself and my child, to student loans and every single bursary that you could possibly think of and scholarship that I could get my hands on, to being in shit tons of debt because of school and living expenses, living in the basement, and, trying to become the best version I could for my son and become better. So I went in a lot of debt because of that, and I was okay with it. And then I decided to start my business. So I went into more debt, but it was good debt because I knew I had a goal. But that goal was absolutely terrifying, right? Because the fear of failure kicks in. So then I had to get in, I had to do the inner work to gain that abundant mindset and push through that belief system. So reinvesting in myself, chronically up-leveling. And we got shit to work on, ladies. This isn't just our childhood belief systems. This is female oppression. This is decades and decades of women not having a voice, not having a right to be able to speak their truth. So we have to fight to take our power back. We have to fight to feel good. We have to fight to take ownership of our basic human needs. That's a whole other conversation. But for the right to feel empowered with our money. So when we live in a culture and a world where both men and women and non-binary still identify as never enough, not having enough. This is our culture. And you want to be the trailblazer and the outlier, and you want to surpass that, and you want to overcome, you got to do the inner work. You got to do the limiting belief work. So, this next assignment for you is to sit there with the same circle that I just created, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, belief, stories, action, reality. And now you're going to reverse engineer the reality that you want to create about your financial situation. So you're going to sit there at your reality. What is the reality that you want to create for yourself financially? Now, whatever you write down there, understand that that is a desire. That is a desire that came within you from something bigger. So you need to trust it. But understand your action or inaction, your thoughts and your stories and your beliefs, those may be barriers. They may get in the way. And this is where the real work happens. And I hear women say this all the time. I know what I need to do. But why the fuck aren't you doing it? The reason why you're not doing it is because of the stories you are telling yourself consciously or subconsciously. So this is what I do. I have a goal. I have lots of goals. I have desires. I have intentional actions. And I've been doing this work for over 10 years on myself. And the system is the exact same. The modality might change, but it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Self-sabotage never goes away. Fear never goes away. Guilt, it comes and goes. You need to learn to co-create your life with it. So every time a desire comes and I'm like, ooh, wow, next level, just downloaded that. Where is that coming from? I write it down. This is the reality that I want to create. And then I reverse engineer it. It doesn't happen overnight. What action do I need to take? What action right in front of me do I need to take? And if I don't know, here's where I'm going to get you. If I do not know what action I need to take, I ask for help. Let me repeat that for the people in the back who did not hear me. If I do not know what action I need to take, I ask for help. I'm not a financial expert. I'm just teaching you to get out of your own way mentally and emotionally. Do I know how to grow stocks? Do I know about all the information I need to know about real estate? Not necessarily. Actually, not at all. But do I have friends and colleagues, and are there experts out there that do? 100%. So when I write down the reality that I want to create and I'm reverse engineering it, I go to action or inaction. If I'm going to create this reality, what's the action I need to take right now? Do I need to read a book? Do I need to reach out to a friend who already has that reality that I want, or that colleague? Do I need to hire support for that? Do I need to call the bank? What actions do I need to do? And I'll just write down 1 to 2 actions. And then I have to ask myself, what are the thoughts that I need to have? What are the stories that I need to tell myself? And a very simple one is, I can do this even if I don't have the answer right now. I can do this even if I don't have the answer right now. And the belief. Now here's the kicker. You do not actually need to believe that your reality can come true. But what you can believe is the possibility. Be playful with it. Allow yourself to have fun. Let's see if I can actually do this. Because what happens is as your actions start to change and your reality shifts financially, what you notice is the beliefs and your thoughts start to change. So the current of your mind and your life start to change. And just like cleaning your closet, this shit gets messy before it becomes organized. So when you dive into this process, expect messy shit. Expect yourself to get scared. Expect yourself to feel overwhelmed. Expect your brain to say, WTF, what are you doing? You can do uncomfortable things. I know you can. So, if you have joined the Money Challenge, here you are taking action. I want to hear from you. I want to know, what has this brought up for you? So, if you haven't joined already, text me. Text the word money. And where the heck is the phone number? I lost the phone number. Here it is. Text the word money to 313-710-5199. 313-710-5199. Text the word money and you can join us along for the Money Challenge. Understand this is all about the inner work to receive outer alignment. Mom is in control. Is about feeling in control of your money and giving yourself permission. The last thing I'm going to say to you today, imagine the impact you will make in the world and the ripple effect you will have by feeling more in control of how you feel with your relationship to money. Talk soon.